Feeling a bit exhausted after CRV exam, sitting with a book and things are not going into your mind easily? Well, no worries. Let's quickly check out few important questions which can be very handy for you within 5 minutes. Do pay full attention to make use of it. So first one is briefly elaborate the key benchmarks of performance assessment that an internal auditor should factor. So first is effectiveness of audit in covering key areas and feedback of audit findings during the audit, and duration and timeliness of the audit, and accuracy of the findings, and value of the audit recommendation, and value added by the internal audit function. So the shortcut is FADE, that is FADE. If the internal auditor does not give emphasis on executing the various suggestions he has made, then everything will fade away. So A for feedback, A for accuracy, D for duration, and E for effectiveness of auditing covering key areas. What happens is in the exam, candidates tend to write effectiveness of auditing covering areas. Key areas is the catch word. So moving on to the next question. Briefly elaborate the reviewer's approach for peer review. So first is the approach of the review should be courteous, professional, and helpful throughout the review process. So next is it should be appreciative of good practices while suggesting areas of improvement, and it should be able to provide practical and insightful comments in a discussion mode as a peer during the review process. B and D should be read together. That is why I went to the D point. Now coming to the C point, it should adopt a collaborative approach. What approach? Repeat after me. Collaborative approach with the practice unit during the review process, and should ensure minimum disruption to the practice unit. And next is fifth point is it should try and give value addition to the practice unit and not merely adopt a tick box approach. So what are the various key terms? Let's quickly recall once. Courteous, professional, and helpful through the review process, and appreciate of the good practices, and collaborative approach, and practical and insightful comments, and also not merely a tick box approach. So this is the reviewer's approach for peer review. So moving on to the next question. So what are the various key controls that will be considered as general controls? First is independence, next is maintenance of professional skill and standards, next is outside consultation, next is staff supervision and development, and next is office administration. So these are the various key controls that will be considered as general controls. What are the various types of certifications that a CS will issue? So one is unqualified certificate, next is qualified. Unqualified certificate is it should be issued when the PS forms opinion that the conditions of corporate governance have been duly complied with by the company. So what are the cases in which qualified will be issued? So what are the, in this case it contains a brief description. So what are they is, it is recommended that qualifications training should be stated in bold type or in italics in CGCC if the PCS is unable to form any opinion on any specific matter in the scope covered. So the PCS will state clearly that fact is unable to form an opinion, hence that is the reason for the qualified certificate. Next is if the scope of work required to be performed is restriction on account of limitations imposed by the client, and on account of other limitations the certificate may indicate limitations. So first is in the previous is unable to express any opinion, next is limitation of certificate, and if the limitation is so material that PCS is unable to express any opinion, then PCS should clearly state that in the absence of necessary information and records he is unable to certify the complaints. So this last report is called qualified order, disclaimer of opinion. So these are the various things in qualified certificate. So if you notice, within 4 minutes we are able to cover 4 questions. So moving on to the last. So companies in India should give more emphasis on CSR, and also what are the various parameters that they should emphasize upon with regarding to applying the executing the CSR in their policy. So these are the various parameters that company should implement, that is complying with the laws, and where business is conducted and engaging in fair practices in the light of social ethics. Next is aiming to become a sensible corporate citizen and striving for harmony with local society. So next is disclosing information in a timely manner and engaging honest and transparent communication mode. And fourth point is protecting the irreplaceable earth and contributing to the preservation of environment. Lastly, respecting fundamental human rights and individuality and building a corporate culture. So these are the various things with regarding to the parameters that the company should keep in mind while executing and implementing the CSR. So watch this video 2 to 3 times. You will get a confidence and keep up with the intensity. Lot more things coming your way. Make full use of it and revise. Compulsorily revise this tomorrow morning as well. It's going to be very easy for you. Be proud of yourself for continuously giving the exams. This is not the time to slow down or get stressed. So keep up and keep going and maintain the focus.